said that's against the rules, and you can't sit with us. Whatever. Those rules aren't real.
One day, mama said to take a step out, get some hand out, let your act out, put some ice for.
Hey ladies, welcome back to Girl Code Media. We are in Columbus, Ohio at Legacy House shooting our Girl Talk series. Girl Talk is an event that we have here, started in Columbus, Ohio, and we travel talking to women all around the world about their own experiences with the girl culture here. So we have some lovely ladies, some it girls of Columbus, period, here on the couch with us, and they're going to introduce themselves. So let's start this way.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Lula. Okay, my name is Lula. I do everything. I do. Like,
Stop playing
honey, I'm a
with
true
me.
Gemini. I do it all. Like, anything, like, you name it, I got it. I can do it. Second eye. But no, like, I'm in the IT field. I'm currently in schools to taking classes to be a biologist or for biologics. And I do music. I do poetry. I'm a writer. I love to tell stories. I love to bring visions to life. Yes. Like, I love to talk and give people a different way to look at life. Yes. That's who I am.
That was real good. I'm like, stop playing with me.
Okay, thank you. I love that.
We're not dimming our light, period.
But which camera do I look at? Hey. My name is Michaela. I am a vintage reseller and a fashion stylist, as well as a sustainable fashion consultant. I have lived in Columbus since I was like 17-ish. Yeah, that's me.
Hi, everybody. My name is Renee. I go by Mrs. Renee online. I am a content creator, a fashion content creator, and I've lived in Columbus majority of my life, but I'm from Baltimore. And that's pretty much
Shout out to Baltimore, period. They doing
I
it big
love
right now.
Baltimore.
They doing it big right now. Put on for yours.
Wait, what is you guys' signs? Zodiac signs.
Gemini.
I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
I love that for
I
you.
love Virgos.
Me too.
Wait, what's your sign? I'm a Cancer.
Oh, I love Cancer.
Yeah, like I love
it.
we kind of yeah. Geminis though I get because we're like right there.
I always get along with Gemini. I just love the deep conversation with them.
And then
Like,
they're just so dramatic. It's hilarious.
and they funny all the
most part.
Yes. Ready. So we're gonna get into it, y'all. So I want our audience, because I feel like everybody has a different girl culture. So far, what has the girl culture for you guys been like in Ohio overall? So just forget like just friendships, just the girl culture. What do you guys normally like see here?
I don't really see a lot of support in girl code things here, but that's just my personal. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
I think my experience has been, it's definitely changed as I've gotten older. But I think I would overall like describe it as you get what you put out. So if you're the person who's networking and you're the person who's like bubbly and nice and kind, you usually are like pretty like people welcome you with open arms. But as I've gotten older and with a little bit more discernment, I'm a little more picky about where I be and who I'm around. People kind of be like, oh, she's the mean girl. She don't talk to people. She don't. And I'm like, nah, I got social anxiety and I respect that.
I'm on a social anxiety. I'm
people here be like really, from my experience, they're so entitled. So entitled. Like, I don't owe you a phone call. I don't owe you a hug every time I see you. Like, I'm a human. Like, I'm not going to show up the same person all the
social
time.
media follow. Sorry.
You owe me a social media follow because you unfollow me. Don't do that.
Wait, I follow you.
Yeah.
She said, but
Okay.
I'm glad I'm
not
not
everybody.
Hey, to the bunch. This got deep now.
Okay, so look.
Speaking of girl code,
Then I hit her up and I was like, dang, you unfollowed me? She left me on red.
I
that's crazy.
I probably did. And look, this is the the thing I be telling people. It really do not be personal. Like it.
Yeah.
I'm so picky about what I scroll past on my social media. That if I scroll
Mhm.
past your shit and I'm like, but I don't really have a connection to you,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, okay, it's not personal. It's like I just don't have a connection to you. And there's some people who I follow who now be like, you unfollow me, yeah, because like I don't talk to you, and I'm sorry that I don't keep up with your life. It's not personal. Like it's just I'm just like picky about what I follow and when I follow
What you're
and who I follow.
consuming.
And
Yeah.
and I think a big one for me is just like if I don't know you personally, like I kind of am getting to that point where it's like I don't feel like I have to like translate that. At least on my personal page, on my Instagram, on my business page.
Because I was gonna ask that. Is it like different? From
Yeah,
your
for my
personal
my
than
business page,
Yeah.
I stopped following everybody back because I seen some woozy stuff that I was like, hey yo,
Yeah.
hold on. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I follow everybody back on
But
my
I can
business
agree.
page.
Remember when we downloaded Threads and we were like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
It was like all those people that we really didn't want to follow, it automatically followed on
Yes.
Threads. We were just like, how?
I actually got
So
off
I
the whole
get-
app.
Me too.
I'm like, I can't even do it.
I never got it for the
I
first
never
week.
got it.
I got it for the
girl.
first week, but
It
you
was a
remember
wrap.
that though, right?
Yeah,
We were
because
just like,
I was scared. I'm
and
like,
he was like,
who
okay, how
are
do you
these
say, how do
people?
I get rid of it? I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know, girl. And I think after that, I just stopped getting on
Because
it.
Instagram show you the same 25 people. I don't know the other half of them following. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
it
gosh,
was a
your
little
Threads. I'm
scary.
like, dang, who are you? Like, who? That was different.
Yeah.
And I think I started unfollowing from that experience. I'm like, who am I following? I might have met them at the store one day and just get them my Instagram. But I'm like, I don't owe everybody a follow. I don't owe everybody that because, again, I don't want to see your stuff. And it's nothing personal. That don't mean I'm
I don't need to see all
beefing
your
with
thoughts.
you.
I don't need to see all your thoughts.
Yeah, it just depends. Some people do be putting trash out there. Some people be, it just depends on what you like. So
In my defense, y'all, I feel like
Hey, we got a personal connection now. You feel me?
in my
It's personal now.
in my defense, I do feel like my page, like my Instagram page,
Mhm.
I'm not a picture taker, I'm a talker. So it's like when it comes to taking pictures, it's like, ooh, so my portfolio is not smacking right now. So when I do lose followers, I'll be like, dang, it's probably because I'm just now getting connected as far as taking pictures and networking and just being back
Yeah.
outside.
I'm so
You know?
happy for you, and I love
Me
it because
too.
you've been showing up.
Thank you.
That's why you're here now.
Thank you so
to be
much.
honest.
I
Like
appreciate
literally,
that.
you showing up right now,
Thank
and I love it
you.
because you have so much
Yeah.
in you. I don't think you know that.
Thank you. I
So,
appreciate
you
that.
keep doing that. People, I think, want to know who is the person behind the brand or who's the person talking. So, like, as you grow and start getting more vulnerable and start putting yourself out there and showing up, I think people are going to gravitate to you and like all that you have to offer and
I love
everything.
that.
Based off our little just like pre-show conversation, I'm like, yeah, you get the fall back when I leave. Don't even worry about it.
I appreciate
Now
that.
I have
Definitely gonna connect
now
with
I
you
have
on
the
there as
connection
well.
with you. Like I have a connection to the name, the face, the Instagram. Like before, it felt like there was like a gap of like, did I run into her somewhere?
Yeah,
Like,
you don't know.
You
You
know,
don't remember
like,
Tira had a birthday? She
and
had
that's
a
all
party.
you ate. You know
That's
what?
it.
This is going on the internet. Never mind.
She had a party. We was connected for just
Hey,
a few
let's
seconds.
talk
That's
about
it,
it after.
though.
Let's
But
talk
we
about
will.
it.
I'm new here.
Yes. So, moving on. I was about to literally ask, like, has social media played a part into how we like connect now?
I think we answered that
Yeah.
question.
Like literally,
That's
like,
literally it.
That's what we just had a real
I feel
life,
like people be weird in person. Don't y'all feel that way?
I think because
sometimes?
people think because you do follow somebody, whatever, like they know you
They're
personally,
entitled
and
to
that's
you.
not the case.
Yeah,
you
like,
still
that
have
is
to
not-
show up. You still have to connect. We still have to do things. We
Mhm.
still have to talk. Like social media is just like a part of it, but that's not. We don't have a
You-
personal connection. You're
and-
my acquaintance.
And then you
If
even have
anything-
people feeling like social media is how they check on you. Like, no, that's
Yeah,
just because you see me post a story, that don't mean I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
You still should text me.
Real
as a
connections
friend.
still
You know what I'm
matter.
saying?
Social media
Yeah.
definitely clouded that. Real connections still matter. You still have
I
to
feel
show
like
up
I
online.
talk to more people on Instagram than my phone. Like I recently
Mhm.
changed my number and I said, I'm gonna see how long it's gonna take for people to be like, did you change your number?
Mm.
I changed my number probably weeks ago. It's people just now. And I'm like, well, that was my indication that you don't really need my number.
Mhm.
You can just stay on Instagram with everybody else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it definitely changed the way we interact with people. I think that, like you said, like there's a lot, like that personal component is kind of gone. I think people just who you are is what they see on your Instagram.
Yeah.
And like that's not my full being. If that's
It's not
the sum of my full being to you, like you're missing out on a whole lot of
Right.
like,
I'm
stuff.
giving y'all a snapshot of my day.
Yeah, this is literally this is
You think you got it all figured out.
This is real, like
They
take
do.
in,
Yeah.
like it's like not. I don't want to say it's always a facade, but I mean it's definitely like there's like logic behind what everyone like. No matter what you want to say, like there is some type of logic behind what you post. You're not putting all of your business online. I don't think you should put all your business online.
Yeah, right.
But it's like you know, like I think that we really do miss like that different level of like intimacy that comes to relationships when you're connecting outside of social media.
Yeah. And what have you guys like friendship journeys looks like just overall?
Whoa! Before we continue,
Ooh, that's a broad question.
To answer that question, I feel like for a good reasoning, social media has separated that personal. So like when you go out, I'm not obligated to give you my phone number anymore because that's not the way I want you to. Yes, and if you and that is
I
it.
love
Like
that though.
I love
I'm
it. I love that part.
I love that.
We gonna keep that part.
Like,
Hey, with that.
please, they did because please don't, and just hit me up on Instagram. Thank you. So I just want
Heavy
to
on
let
the
that
thank you.
heavy on with the biggest period ever.
Period.
Oh my god.
What was your
Yeah.
next question? You said friendship overall.
Yes, how's y'all's friendship journeys been so far? Just being here and connecting with other women. How has it been?
Can I answer this one first? 'Cause
Yeah,
I feel
I need a minute.
passionate about this one.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I came to Columbus when I was 17, and I came here with like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, like, if it weren't like that, makes me cry. Like the women in my life that I have been fortunate enough to just like run into and meet in the most random places, have completely changed the trajectory of my life. Like completely. Like my best friend, like one of my best friends, she has a PhD. And I tell her all the time, if it weren't for you, I would have never finished school. I would have never took it serious. I would have never had a STEM degree. I would have never thought I could do that. I would have never thought that Black girls had spaces, in spaces that I'm able to take up now. And like wholeheartedly, like you as like a single individual, like I wish that I could like put your name in small font at the bottom of my diploma. Like
That's so
because
sweet.
like real shit, like I would not have that if I don't know if we can cuss, but
Oh,
if I would have met you, and like I think that I really have like 6 core friends that like I met, and it wasn't on some like, I think a lot of times we try to meet friends like on social media, like, oh, she's so pretty, her clothes are cute, she does this, she does that, I like that, I want to be her friend. No, like God's gonna put you in a room with someone who's supposed to be your friend, and it's gonna be the most random girl that you like. We don't look the same, we don't talk the same.
Right.
I don't even know if I would like her, but it's when you talk to her and you get to know her, like God wanted you in the room with that person. Like,
Being open-minded to that.
Yeah.
and it's like, it really is like, there are a few girls here that like, or women that I met that like, they were my sisters. Like those are my sisters. Like God needed me to have them. And if I hadn't come to Columbus with nothing, and I hadn't been in those random ass places and them random spaces, going to those random, not even like social events, but like, it was like, I met her at a book club. She hosted the book club at her house. And she was like, who is this little girl with pigtails and overalls? Like who gave her my address? But now like, that's my big sis. Like, you know, like, my best friend, it was so funny. We were neighbors and we didn't know, like my best friend. We were neighbors and we didn't know until we had started hanging out like randomly. Like we were just like, dang, I want a friend my age and we're the same age. Let's kick it. Like, so we started, you know, we bumped each other so many times. So we started kicking on our own, and we were like, girl, we're neighbors this whole time. Like we've been neighbors for years. Like, and you know, it's just like, I really do think that like, I am fortunate enough that like my friendships have definitely shaped who I am, like in the most positive way. And I'd be feeling so bad because I can tell from a mile away when a girl or a woman or a young woman doesn't have friends like that.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Is
I'm gonna
that
get
you
my
guys' story too? It's been
I'm not-
positive.
It's been on and off for me. But I actually meet a lot of good friends through like just work sometimes. Like I meet a lot of good people through work. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I've been through a lot of different friends. Like it's actually like, I'll probably say I have a good maybe 3 solid friends, and I've been like just scattered. You know what I'm saying? Because that's important. You may have the friends that you just go out with.
That's that part.
Then you got your personal
Knowing
friends,
that.
so you have to know that.
Yeah.
So I'm in that transition now where I've had to kind of be like, ooh, you're not my
my
Okay,
friend.
yeah.
You're my
And it's been
party
kind of
friend.
sad Then when you're going in a different transition, you just notice like I'm growing, and then they're just kind of like not growing. And it's gonna cause a conflict after a while because you be like, I'm not even into that talking about that kind of stuff anymore.
They be like kind of resentful at you that you not
You
where
think
they
you're better than me. Yeah,
Like,
that's not that. It's just I'm trying to grow and be better. Like I realized that was toxic for me and I don't want that anymore. So that's what it is for me right now. I'm kind of in like a little lost place friend wise. Like I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like I've cut a lot of people off. So I have 3 good solid friends though. It's probably no, it's just we're just gonna say 3. So I don't know who might be watching this and be like, who's a 3? But it's just but that's just the truth. That's the damn truth. Be more friends. I'm just saying, like,
I bet them
big
big 3 didn't have to. They
gonna know. They gonna know.
And they know who the other 2 was.
It's funny because like I have probably like 4 or 5 solid. It takes me a while to call somebody my friend. That's just
and that's
my
what I'm saying.
like
Everybody
I
not your
teach
friend.
this. Like I don't play when it comes to that friendship. So me just going out a couple times with somebody, that's not my friend. We are still acquaintances, but I know people like they throw that word out loosely. I'm not the type of person to do that. So technically, even me with this podcast and teaching it, I only have like about 5 solid best friends, thousands of acquaintances, thousands of acquaintances. Like I know everybody. However, 5 solid friends.
Yeah, that's
period.
My core
that's all you
friends,
need,
5 or
though.
6.
Yeah,
And that's your tribe. And
that's
like,
my tribe.
Like y'all gonna help me raise the kids, bro.
Yeah.
Real life.
And let's just talk. It's a lot having those type of relationships too, though. So it's like everybody's gonna need some of your time. So I think a good 5 is good. I mean, that's like
I can't even pour into that many people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, especially
so
with the
somebody gonna get
entitlement
left
and
out.
stuff. Even just here, I'm like, look, I have a whole business and legacy, and God's calling me to do this. Like, I cannot show up in everybody's life. So those 5, they have stuff going for them. They have, we're on the same wavelength.
That's push and pull.
about.
It's a pour, like a constant pour, overflow.
Yeah, and if it's there's ever a season where it's different, where I'm doing all the pouring and they might, be in a weird season, I don't cut people off that easily.
Yeah.
Like when it gets to that point. 'Cause I think, in friendships in general, as women, sometimes we don't value our friendships like that. So sometimes, as soon as we don't get something back in return, we're like easy to cut somebody off, or some like little inconvenience. It's easy to cut them off. But like, again, it's one of the girl codes. Make sure we're giving our friends that same grace we would give these niggas.
That part.
Period.
That part.
Like literally. And that is a learning curve for a lot of people, especially in the media, how they portray friendships and the things that we see. And we're not taught how to be friends. Like we're taught how to go to school and get a job. We're not taught the component of friendships or how to be one. So I'm gonna let you talk. How has your friendship journey been so far?
I think right now I'm in a really good space. I have no friends, but I have acquaintances. I am in a transformation process, right? So like I feel like
beautiful.
when I was young, I was around the same people for so many years, and I was young, so I really didn't know who I was. We were so much alike. It felt like that, and then as time went on and life was moving forward, I realized either God forced them out my life, or they betrayed me in some sort of way, or, I just realized that at this point we're not supposed to be friends anymore. So that relationship was discontinued. Yeah. Never no shade, never no hate. See these girls out, some of them, and it's like, what's popping? But like, but it's nothing past that, So, but at this point, and for so long, I felt so lonely because I went from a girl who was young and I had so many friends. Like, what? And then now I'm growing and I'm losing everything that I knew is it's like being swept from under my feet, right? Ooh, all the people, the places, and the things, and it started to just wear on me, and I was feeling so lonely, and I wasn't giving it grace that I did still have people around me that cared, because I felt like I was losing everything, everybody. You feel me? I didn't understand, why is God doing this to me? Why is this happening to me? But I was obedient. I went into solitude, right? But now we are fast forwarding, and it's like, yo, I've been dancing, like, feel like the Holy Ghost. Like I could feel it. Like I am really making some good connections. And God had to, and now everything makes sense. So like I had to separate you from that. Because that is not who you, that was, you are a product of your environment, but now,
speak on it.
You feel me? Like, now you're a grown woman, you know better, you can do better, you are your own person. And so, I've just been networking, I've been just putting myself in a better position to meet people, you know? And I've met some really great people because of that, and I can say that these people slowly but surely are becoming friends of me. And so I'm super excited about that. Like, what?
Can I give you your flowers though? Because I think that we can all think of people who never got the courage to let go of the friends they grew up with, and they are the same people they were when they were 17 and 27, hanging out with them same people,
same
doing
mentality,
the same thing, making the same mistakes. Like I don't understand. I don't. My niggas is coming with me, are they? Because where y'all going?
Right.
Where y'all going together? Because y'all doing the same things y'all have been doing since the sandbox. And we put so much, like, I think people, like, you know, I always see, like, on Instagram, like, bet y'all can't post a 10+ year friendship. Nope, sure can't. You know why? You know why?
The same person to
because I can post a lot of other better things happening in my life than that 10-year friendship would have ever brought me.
And then it's like the people that I've met later in life, to me, did more than
in that short amount of time.
Even when it was with the consecrated, I'm like, okay, I've been friends with you for 10+ years. I ain't seen you repost nothing, and I just met this girl at work, and she's going most hard for me.
She connected me with people,
like,
taking me places, opening doors for me.
I don't gotta give my light.
Shout out to her. Shout out to her, because she's the dope one.
Like,
that's the friend right there.
And if you that friend, friend. Because really though, like it's really hard. Like I don't have a single friend from high school, bro. Like I don't have a single. Granted, I came from a place that's like very, very different than Columbus, but it's still like I'm grateful because I think about who I was hanging out with high school.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying they're like not somewhere they don't want to be today. I don't think so at all. But I think that I wouldn't be who I was today if those were still my besties. And that is scary to me because I don't know who I would be, and I'm so glad I don't know that person. Like, you know. So yeah, kudos to you. Like it's lonely, but
it's worth it.
It was. It really was.
You're going somewhere different.
You're going somewhere different, and there's so many people who they're kind of codependent on those friendships. The things that
the comfort of it. I know what to expect. I know it's predictable. They're gonna do this to me. They're gonna do that to me.
But that's okay. That's how they are.
That's just how they are.
Because they don't want to be lonely.
But that's who I am. That's the T. Like that's who you are. Like so, it's like it's okay. I like when it's comfortable. I like when it's predictable. I like when, you know, people, if people don't show up for me in XYZ ways, it's like, oh, well, now I can play the blame game though, because, well, I just don't got nobody around me to help me do stuff like that. You got people around you to do stuff like that. And it's like, yep, sure do. Because I put myself in rooms to do that. And I made the sacrifice of being lonely at times. I made the sacrifice of being in uncomfortable spaces to do that. Because being uncomfortable and being lonely for a year, 2, 3, however many, is so much more beneficial for you than being with the same people doing the same shit in the same place. Yeah. Because you will be that's my fear. It's like I don't ever want to look up and I'm 30, 40 years old.
In the same place.
In the same I know people in the same hood, bro. In the same hood at 30 years old.
But
like
it's hard to I didn't mean to cut you off, but like just because, you know, I recently just started coming outside. I'm outside, y'all. Like and it's new for me. It's okay, pull up. But like it's so hard. So I have found I give people a lot of grace, like
definitely
that I have grown to do that because it is so hard to get out of that
That's
bucket.
Why I gave you,
you feel me?
That's
like
why I gave you your flowers for it, though.
It is literally one of the hardest things that because I remember questioning, I'm questioning everybody in my life, like why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? Why do I feel this way inside? Like I'm a good person. I have a great personality. Why is my female relationships like non-existent right now? I just really couldn't understand it. And everybody
understand it now, like
reflection. What my mom is telling me, my aunt is telling me, what they're telling me is like, baby, God got something else for you. You
You're
gotta let
going
it
in a
go.
different transition.
You gotta let it go.
What
That's-
was your breaking point for letting it go? Like, what was that thing that's like, okay, I cannot no longer be in this friendship? What was that non-negotiable that made you actually leave?
So I had a 15-year friendship. They do exist. You feel me? Like they really do. 15 years. This was my best friend when I first moved to Columbus. She was my first friend. We was kind of neighbors, like you and your friend. And through high school, we went to separate schools, but we stayed close. This was like my second family. Love this girl, and unfortunately, the love that I had for her wasn't. As we got older, she changed, and she betrayed me in a way that I could have died from. You feel me? Like I could have literally lost my life and never seen my family again because of it. And in that moment, which just happened 2 years ago, when I came back, I wasn't even in my state. I wasn't even in my city. I was trusting you. I entrusted you to go somewhere with you. And 15-year friendship, and we do everything together. And when I made it back home, I just went to solitude. I didn't want a friend. People was asking me to come out, like I was making videos. I was here, I was there, I was outside, and everybody's wondering what happened to you. Like, where did you go? We don't even know. Are you okay? Every time they're asking me to come out, it's a no. I don't want to. That's how bad it was for me. And God told me to go into solitude, and I was obedient, but I was questioning because now it's 2 years and I'm outside, but I'm lonely. You feel me? Like I'm going out and these girls see me as competition. That's what it seems like. You feel me? Like, and I'm really just a cool girl. This is how I am most of the time.
People don't like people that other people like in general. Just because you're likable, they're not gonna like you.
And it's
That part.
It's your light too. When you got a light,
And you gotta know that.
people they be mad. They don't like. Why I don't like? Why? Where my light at?
Exactly.
You, baby. Just go find it.
You got to, but you got to do that. You got to do that
That's
inner work.
self-work.
That healing, that shadow work is what I call it. That shadow work is extremely important, and it's hard to do it. And some people they're not strong enough. Like you have to have enough courage to be like, look, take accountability for where you are. Stop blaming everybody else. Figure out where. There's just so much.
Piece.
It's so much to it. And so it's like, that was my breaking point, and now I'm here. And shout out to the real ones, because y'all been showing out for your girl. When I was lonely, when I was feeling alone, I kept getting reminded by my real ones, like, you're not alone. We here, right here with you. Like, and like you said, pouring into me more than I was pouring into them. And I needed that. They gave me the strength to be like, whew, I'm good now. You know? Good friends, solid people. And it was around me the whole time. I was giving my attention to the wrong people.
Yeah. What advice would you guys give to the girl she knows inside her heart she needs to let her friends go? What advice would you give to her in this moment as she's contemplating if she's making the right decision or not?
I feel like if she's contemplating, then that's it right there. That's it.
Are there any red flags she should be looking for?
Might just be a feel. I just feel like we
It's
know.
a feeling. We
And
know.
You got that. You get. Yeah, it's that gut.
And it'd be
feeling.
so sad. Like y'all said, it's a codependent thing.
Yeah, I
But
think
you gotta release that.
Because friendship breakups are hard.
It is hard.
I'm going through one right now, and I think that like as someone like going through one right now, I think the same thing I would tell someone going through like a relationship breakup. Like, don't look back. Don't look back. It sucks. It's hard. It's ugly. It's uncomfortable. It's lonely. It's all these like really bad feelings, but don't look back, because there's always something better on the other side. Like there's always something better, and the proof of that is always 100%, 100%. I think any person 100% will agree. There's always something better on the other side. Like I think that's 100% success rate. When you don't look back, there's always something better waiting for you. And I think also like as far as if you don't know that it's time to cut off a friendship, I think that whenever it's been time for me, it's been it's the feeling, but that feeling, I think if I could describe it, it's like if you hang out with that person, you feel exhausted, you feel tired, you feel like my spirit is empty, like empty. It's like an empty feeling. It's just like
What am I
ick.
getting
It's
from
the
that?
ick,
It's
bro.
the ick.
It's the ick. Like you're just like, ew, like
Yeah.
I'm over it. The same
Mhm.
the same way you feel. Like I think as a girl, especially we've all been in a space where we've been messing with a dude, and one day you're just like, it's the ick. This is the last ick, bro. Like I'm good. I'm
Mhm.
good. It's the same with your friends, bro. It's really the same with your friends.
It
Like
is.
you really know when it's the last
Mhm.
time. It's like it's the last time I'm gonna leave this space feeling this
Yeah.
way. Like
Yeah.
it ain't gonna happen
Ooh.
again. You're not gonna
And
catch
then
me.
just look at it as just being a part of your journey. Like
It's
that
a
person
part of your journey.
has
Embrace
run
it.
its course.
Mhm.
Oh.
And then when you start cutting these people off, you just be noticing a difference in your life.
Yeah.
Well, I do agree with what you're saying. If we're talking to younger women, I think that what we need to do first is we need to teach a young woman how to listen to her woman's intuition.
That
Mhm.
part.
We deny ourselves as grown women our women intuition because we was not taught what that was in the first place. You know, like, and women get so much scrutiny just about everything. So it's like you're so worried and self-conscious about everything that you don't even understand that your woman intuition is guiding you. That is what was given to you. We have a womb. They can never take that from you.
Yeah.
So we need
And it
to
ain't
first,
never wrong.
we need to first
Never.
never deny
It's
ourselves
the Holy
our,
Spirit in my book.
okay,
Listen,
like
Holy
seriously.
Spirit.
And I'll be mad at myself because I'll be like, you knew.
You knew
And you
whole
let this go on.
time.
And that's
Yeah.
it's like trusting yourself. It's like having the courage to trust yourself. Like how can you say, oh, I trust this person as my friend. I trust this person in this relationship. Like, but you don't even trust yourself to know when it's what. And then Lauryn Hill said something about that. Like, or no, it's Mary J. Blige. I don't remember what she said, but it's in one of them songs. She talking about how do I know if I don't know when to let go? Like she talking about how do I know if I love someone I don't know how to let them go? Like I don't love myself enough to let you go, but I love you and I trust you this much. It's like no. I think that like for a lot of times, like I think that we try to perceive romantic relationships and platonic relationships as like very different. Like, oh, they're different. I'm like, nah, they're
Not
very
as much.
similar.
Yeah.
They're very
similar.
similar. Like the
Yeah.
feelings be very similar.
Mhm.
The difficulties, the challenges, the intimacy, like it be very similar. It looks different,
Yeah.
but it's very, very similar. And I think, like you said, like you have to know how to trust that feeling. Like I think you can have a feeling all day long, but if you're not moving
And
on
I
it,
went against it a lot because I think I was trying to figure out, is this me being damaged or is
Yeah,
this my
it's a
intuition?
trauma.
into that.
So how do
point,
you know what I'm saying?
You have
like,
to
is
allow
it me?
yourself enough time to
To
process your
process it
emotions.
and go through that
Like
work.
we do not allow. First of all, it takes 4 seconds. Somebody can tell you something, and it takes 4 seconds for you to really process what they just told you. But because we are so reactive, we are not allowing ourselves enough time to process how we feel. We don't even know how to breathe correctly. All of these things tie into everything we're talking about today. So it just be deeper than the surface level that everybody's saying.
everything
you know?
is that deep.
Everything is
like
that deep,
that,
bro.
Literally.
Literally.
That's like I used to think it's not that deep, but I realized like this year I realized
It is.
everything is that deep.
Take some
Everything
time,
is that
process
deep.
how you feel, take a couple breaths. And sometimes processing your feelings is not just 24 hours. Sometimes you might need a good
Days.
7 days
And
to
I like
process
that.
that.
And I like how you said that. So I recently had a best friend that we're not friends anymore, but during my transition, I've noticed a lot of people been reaching out, just from my past that I just don't fuck with anymore. But she reached out through email, and it was more so of her trying to rekindle, but I didn't want to. But heavy on what she said, I just needed time to process it first. So I didn't respond. I probably should have responded and said, give me some time to process this.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I gave it some time. So then she doubles back. She emails me again. And then
I
now
respect the email though.
now it's like a time
I
limit with
respect
her
the
though, and
email.
I didn't like that.
Oh, well, she
Now-
said you have to have an answer.
She's
by-
like, well, if you don't respond by this time, then I'll assume this. But to me, it's like you're not giving me time to process my feelings.
That's the breakup I'm going through now with my friendship breakup. We had like our last little in person. We had like exchanged some things or whatever. It felt like a real breakup. It was hilarious. But the only thing that we said, the only words we exchanged to each other in that time, they were like, "You really don't want to talk about it?" I said, "Maybe in due time. Right now, I'm good. I'm good. There's nothing to talk about." And that was. We ain't talked. It's been like a couple of days. It's ain't been
This
a long
is
time,
fresh,
but this
too.
is fresh. Like it's fresh. But I was just like, I have already like, I have practiced and I have what's the word I want to use? Like I have proof that I can let people go and I'm okay. So now I'm like, oh yeah, Yeah,
And I
I
think
did it
that's-
once successfully. I'm gonna keep doing it, and it's
That
not. I'm gonna
part.
cut people off left and right. Like I've never been that kind of person. But like when if you
You
get
know
me
when
to
to
the
give them
point,
grace.
you
That's
get
what I
me to a
wanna know.
point where I
Yeah.
cut people off, where I feel like I gotta really take you out my life, like remove you,
Yeah.
like 2 business days, you up out of there. Then like you have really crossed a very serious boundary with me, and that
Mhm.
means that like I need time to really accept that you crossed my boundary before I can't even address what you did if I can't wrap my mind around what you did yet. Like if I'm still like, dang, you really did that.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing for us to talk about. There's like no, like you're gonna have to give me time. And I think that like both y'all said, like it's a time component of like you really do have to honor that. And if that means it takes me a year and you don't hear from me for a year, that's my business.
Yeah.
You crossed my boundary, or you did this, or you violated me in this way, and this is like my.
Did you
pain.
express your boundaries and everything prior, or is it one of them things? I know like a lot of women and just people in general, we expect us from other people. So we're not talking about values, we're not talking about morals, we're not talking about girl codes, because we
Well, I'll let
think
her
they
answer first.
move the same way we move. So was it that, or did you tell them this is what my boundaries are?
I ain't gonna lie. It was a kind of like a little bit of a messy like back and forth situation, like because they actually felt like I crossed one of their boundaries. But then I was like, well, hold on. I need the receipts of when I did this, because I'll be trying to be real mindful about not crossing people's boundaries, especially the ones that I'm being accused of crossing. They had nothing. But to even tell me that they had a boundary that I had crossed, to even tell me, they made up this crazy lie, a crazy lie. And then they called me like, actually, that was a lie. What I really wanted to talk about was you did da-da-da-da. And I'm like, see, so I hear what you're saying about I might have crossed your boundaries. We gonna get there in a second. But I'm gonna let you know right off the gate, I don't do lies, and I don't do big lies, and I don't do silly lies. So it's like immediately you cross my boundaries, and I'm not even really. It's hard for me to even be open to what you have to say after you tell me you lied to me. It's like because I'm a human, bro. So I'm already like I feel like hurt. I'm a little like taken aback. So it's hard for me to be receptive to the things that come after your lie. And I think people don't realize that. Like even if what you're saying is valid, I'm still like, damn, you lied.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard what you said after that, because I'm still stuck on the fact that you lied.
I can't trust something that you say out your mouth.
And whether you confess to me or not means nothing to me, because the harm has been done. As soon as you opened your mouth to tell me I lied, the harm was done. I don't care if you confess to me that you lied. I don't care that you answered to me. I'm not trying to hear that, because all I feel right now is, well, I know I ain't never lied to you, and especially not about that silly. But I eventually, like in the conversation, I allowed them to express what it was. I told you there's no receipts, and I was just like, they're like, well, moving forward, this is our boundary. I said, actually, there aren't. No, that's not what's happening here. What's happening here is I'm not okay with how you lied to me, so I'll let you know when I want to have a conversation about what it looks like to move forward.
Well, also everything, like I feel like it's okay to let things go, to let them grow. Regardless, I don't know the situation. Shout out to Homegirl though, because I was just talking about that earlier. People are not using email no more. And that is annoying to me.
I chuckled a little bit when you said email. I was like,
she missed you.
And then she
I went through a breakup that emailed me back in the day.
But I miss her too. But I'm gonna tell y'all what it is for me, because I always have this spinning the block thing with people. I don't know how to let go, and I'm dealing with a codependency thing within myself. Like I'm going through a transition, trying to figure myself out. So it's just, my whole thing is keep allowing this back and forth stuff with people. And it's like,
For what?
this wasn't the first time that me and her we've all had those friendships. Like you said, it's just like romantic relationships. You break up, you're back. You're like, okay, when are we going to say when here and just say that this is just not going to work?
Bygones be bygones.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is for me. It's just, okay, I have to have boundaries for myself now. And I'm also struggling with abandonment issues too. So I don't like the whole in and out thing for me personally. So it's just a me thing. It really has nothing really it has something to do with her, if y'all get what I'm saying, but it's a me thing.
It's really about
that's
where you are.
And that's okay. And that's a perfect segue, because this is the last question. Like, when you are in that season of transition, you're cutting people off, like you just gave that advice for the girl who's thinking about cutting her friends off. How did you guys find the healthy friendships? That's how I want to end. Like, how did you find a healthy friendships?
I
I will
first.
go with just saying, no, yeah, we're going to go this way. I would say my advice for anybody who's looking for healthy friendships is to do the work on yourself first. Because are you a good friend? And I think that's the accountability that we don't look at sometimes. Are you showing up in your friend's life the way you want to be shown up as? So it's like, that's my girl code. We're going to get to it. That's my girl code of the day. Like, treat others the way you want to be treated, period. Because at the end of the day, it might be, I love how you were so self-aware just now. Like, I have codependency issues. You have to know that so you can know how to choose your friends. You have to know you in order to even be in a relationship with people. So that was like my biggest advice. If you're looking for, healthy friendships, make sure that you're whole and healed first before you are looking for those relationships, because it could be toxic because you're needing so much from them because you don't maybe love yourself, or you don't know yourself enough to choose who you want around you. And that's so detrimental. So that's like my biggest advice. Do the self-work yourself.
I agree.
I love that. That was really nice. To segue off of that, after you do your shadow work and you know yourself, I feel it's important to put yourself into situations that benefit who you are today.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you're interested in, if it's painting, if it's cooking, whatever it may be, I feel you should put yourself in those rooms with those people who like to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you never know where you have to be willing to open yourself up, and you have to be willing to accept who you are now that you let everything go and you worked on yourself. Now we're moving forward, and I'm putting myself in rooms with people that have similar interests as me, and give people a lot of grace as well. Like, principle and morality is very important. Knowing your boundaries is very important, and not to sway on your boundaries is even more important. But stick beside them. Okay. Yeah. But give people grace, because we are learning how to communicate. I have a close friend right now that we are so close, and he's a guy. We are so close, and to the point where sometimes we're having a conversation and we're reacting off the conversation. And then when we really start breaking down the conversation, it was a whole misunderstanding on how we were communicating. But because we love each other that deeply, it's so easy for us to be like, take accountability. Oh, dang, I didn't even know that's what you meant. My bad. You won that debate. You feel me? I'm going to let you have that. I'm going to bow out gracefully. So give people grace, because we are all learning how to love ourselves. We're all learning how to love, just love in general and communicate in general. So yeah, and put yourself in those rooms, because you deserve to be there if that's what you're interested in. And then the people that God has for you will come to you.
Yes.
See, I kind of disagree.
That's good.
And I mostly disagree because, like, when I think of, like, I was talking about my friends, like, my closest friends, I actually met, like, I was going through it in my personal life. Like, I was going through it. And I wasn't in a space where I could identify healthy people. I was not in a space where I knew anything about what a boundary even was. Like, that's me. We didn't have boundaries in my household. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't grow up in
a new term.
Yeah. That too. But, like, I didn't really grow up in a space where, like, love, like, wasn't a thing that, like, was readily available in my home, right? So it's mean that I've had to learn on my own how to love people. Like, and I'm out here raw dogging how to love people. So if I love you wrong, I'm working from a plain book, bruh. Like real life, I'm figuring this out on my own, right? But it's like my friends taught me how to be a loving person. And if I hadn't met my friends, I wouldn't know what boundaries are. I'd still be in a space where no one ever talked like that around me. I wouldn't be in a space where people were like, hey, like, you know, the way your partner treats you is not okay, right? Like, that would have been where I come from. That's normal. That's how your partner treats you. You feel me? So it's like, in fact, they're probably nicer. So it's like, I don't think that it's about, like, I think it's about identifying people that you can bring with you on that journey, and you can see the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, I think that my friends really, like I said, like, they are the people, like, when I think of love, a dude doesn't come to my mind. It's a family member, it's my friends. Like, I've never been poured into the way that my friends have poured into me. And I think that, like, they have been so pivotal, so important to my healing journey.
Mhm.
Like, I needed them to hold that space. I needed them, like, me and my friends, the thing that we do is, like, we have, like, call-ins sometimes. It's very rare, and it hasn't happened a lot recently, but, like, there was a time where we were all kind of just wilding outside, and we'd be like, hey, yo, this little behavior you got going on is a little, we're not liking it. Like, we had a friend who kind of, like, was showing signs of having, like, some alcohol issues. And so, like, we literally all sat on my living room floor in my little ass apartment. We ate pizza, and we're like, okay, let's talk about why we're actually here.
Mm-hmm.
We cried, and we were like, all right, like, so what now? Like, you know, and my friends really taught me, like, that component of, like, doing the shadow work. And I think they taught me how to have that safe space. So I don't really think that it's about, like, being able to identify those things. I do think that once you are able to do that, like, I am better at choosing new friends in my life. But I think as far as, like, choosing, like, my first, like, those core friends, I think especially when you get into adulthood in the early 20s, I think I was lucky to make friends that early that are like this.
You were blessed.
I think I'm blessed, but I think that now that I'm, like, in my mid-20s and I'm around more women who are trying to work on themselves and trying to, like, enter this, like, healing journey and find friends who align, I think it really is just about finding people who kind of, like what you said, I don't think it's about interest. I think it's about morals. I think it's about values. And I think it's about having a common understanding of how the world works. Because I think that so often, like, empathy is huge. Like, me and my friends, we don't come from the same type of stuff, but we all come from, like, dysfunctional families. I have friends who came to America, like, war refugees, like, in real life, you know? Like, I have friends who came, like, with nothing, who come from nothing. And it's like, but at the end of the day, like, we're all, like, but we're doing something different. And that is our common component of each other's. Like, we're dedicated to doing something different. We're dedicated to our growth. We're dedicated to being strong, like, loving, empathetic, ambitious women. And I feel like just having people, identifying people who share that moral is important. And then I think also, I don't want to spill my girl code too early, but
yeah, y'all could go ahead.
my girl code is get a mentor, be a mentor. And so that's my biggest one. Is like, for me, like I said, a lot of my friends are older than me. So, like, I think that's why I was blessed to have, like, wholesome ass friends, because they were like touching their 30s. Yeah. So where I'm at right now, they already been here. But it's like,
Exactly. That's so
I
good.
think that it was really about, like, finding people who was pouring into me and I could pour back into, and who sometimes we knew, like, I'm pouring into you and you don't got nothing to give me, and that's okay, because I know that one day you're gonna have something to give me, and one day might be next week when you just feeling a little better, and it might be next year when you got a little more money in your pocket. But I know that it's like this is a very reciprocated, a very wholesome, and a very, like, strong relationship. It's not based on, like, we like wearing the same clothes, we like going to the same club, we like eating the same food. Like, no, it's like my soul sees your soul, and my pain feels your pain, and we make space for that. And I think that that's when you know you have a friend. It doesn't matter where you are in your healing journey. It's about, like, having someone who sees you and you see them.
Okay, before we move on,
I could agree
you're
with
right.
all of y'all, though.
Can I just one thing? I promise it's not gonna take that long. She is absolutely correct. When I said put yourself in these places, I was more so saying, if you're looking for healthy places, you could be healed up, did your work, and go to the club. You're not gonna find your best friend there. So I'm telling you to go to a place that is like a place of peace for you, but use your power of discernment from your morals and your principle and just everything else that life has showed you, your experience, to discern which person, place, or thing is going to benefit you for who you are today. That's what I was saying.
And
but
that
she's
is
absolutely great.
self-work. Like, even if you do it with people, like she said, like,
because you gotta know to know when someone shares your morals. You gotta know your morals.
You have to know your, like, literally, it is some self-work.
You gotta know what the values are. You gotta know what you value. Like, because
that's girl code. Period. That's literally what girl code is.
So I do see what y'all saying. Like, you do have to have some level of self-awareness.
Some level. Some people don't sit with themselves.
They
don't.
don't.
So that's why we wanted to.
And that's why you be having friends that you be like, damn, how did that happen? Right.
It's like,
and also, I'm gonna just say off rip, the girl who can't keep a friend, get her out of here. She gotta go. She not your friend, bro. Like, let her figure it out on her own. Don't let her be the one that you make grace for. I ain't gonna lie. That's never the one you gotta make grace for. Sorry.
It's a red flag.
I agree with a little bit of everything of what y'all said. So I'm gonna go with what they said, because especially what you said, because that's true. It's just all about getting to know each other too as a friend to even pinpoint if they're a bad friend or not, or if they align with you. So friendships is just like a romance. It's gonna take time to learn people.
Yeah.
Asking
You gotta
questions.
date them.
Even like
Yeah.
back in the day, I don't
Friends.
think
Friends.
I ever
They feel weird.
asked any
Date them.
friends back in the day what their traumas was. Like all this stuff matters to who they
It
are today, and you
absolutely
have to
matters.
talk to them and know that. Have real conversations.
And but you also like you said earlier, a really important part is like you gotta know what friends serve what purpose in your
Yeah,
life.
Exactly.
Because my club
That's
friend,
it.
this no tea, no shade to my club friends. Like we not talking about trauma, bro. Like
Yeah.
like we're out here to shake our butt on the table and find a man and yo, like that's what we're here for. We're not here to talk. This is where I go to forget that I have trauma for a little bit. You feel me?
Yeah.
But also like since I went sober, I also know that like making new friends is really hard. It's really good. A lot of people
shadow work
A
yet.
lot of people don't want to be outside if they can't have a little Henny bottle with them. And they like, you want to go where to do what? Girl.
Yeah.
What you mean you don't want to be at Forum tonight? It's
Oh
dark in
my
there, girl.
Those examples were like, I think I agree with everybody. I think we're saying the same thing too, ultimately. I know we kind of gave our girl talk, not girl talk, our girl codes early. So what are
You go first, lovely.
girl codes?
So mine's was, if you and a friend fall out, do not go telling any business that your friend trusted you with. I'm just real big on that. Like, and I just feel like that is one of them things where if I am making a new friend and they're telling like too much personal
Red
stuff from
flag.
that other friend, to me, I don't think
red
I'm
flag,
special, and I feel like I'm gonna be next. So now I'm good, kind of good.
Good
on
general rule of thumb when
Yes.
picking friends. If they if all they talk about is other people, guess who they talk about when you're not in the room?
You.
Y'all actually y'all all know each other's business. How you don't ever see them?
I'm talking
That's
to
why
you.
it's weird when y'all all at the dinner table.
Yes,
She can tell
facts.
both of y'all
That's
business
just
to
free
each other.
game. I'm telling
That's
you.
free
game.
When all they talk about is other people, best believe I don't care how long y'all been
I don't care
friends,
how long
what y'all been
it
through.
can be funny, but trust me, you're gonna be the next joke in the next room.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny now.
She said the next
For
round.
real, we enable
Real
our
life.
friends to do certain things, but
Real
like, look, now
life.
you the victim. Now
That's
you
key.
looking like a clown.
Why you
Yeah.
surprised?
Yeah.
Red nose.
She gonna shade.
For me, I picked
Close it one more time.
God is love. So if God is not in it, it's not love. And I feel like we need to we need to allow God to lead us. A lot of the times we are moving based off of how we feel, based off of our emotions, which we already understand that we have to understand who we are first. And in order for us to do that, we have to surrender to the call of God. So with all that being said, I feel like even with your platonic relationships, your intimate relationships, however you view your relationships, if God is not in that relationship, it is not going to last.
Never.
So you
Never.
have to be able to really sit with yourself and hear how God communicates with you. It's different for everybody. We can sit up here and give you, but we all had different experiences. We've all been through different walks of life. So God is going to communicate with us in a whole different way. So figure out what your way is and then allow God to lead you exactly where you're supposed to be. And the people will gravitate to you if it's meant.
God always gonna put you in the right room.
Period.
Every time.
Never
question
time.
it.
Every
time.
Every time.
And if you are in that room and you're scared, know that He sent you. Right?
You're
So
there for a
always
reason.
think about
You're
that.
there
Like, you
for a
are
reason.
there for a reason.
Take
Thank
up
you,
space.
ladies. This was such a good episode.
I loved it.
Thank
Dope.
you guys for sharing your truth, sharing your experiences, and just bringing more awareness on like how tough it is to find friends in this day and age, especially the age of social media. So I thank you guys for coming up here, being vulnerable. You guys did so good.
So did you.
Thank you guys.
Shout out
I'm
to
a victim.
Chanel, girl
Yes.
code.
It's not really about me, y'all. It's not about me. Stick to the
Look,
code.